Okay, this is a recording of using SPSS, but first accessing the program through Cal State San Marcos Cougar Apps program. So you have two options. First of which, if you're on campus, you can just go onto any campus computer, log on with your username and password, and then open SPSS straight from the computer. If you're at home or using your personal computer or laptop, you need to log on to cougarapps.csusm.edu, and then you may have to install a Citrix receiver like I had to do on my Apple computer. Then you open Cougar Apps. Here you can see the programs that I've used in the past. We're going to be using SPSS version 22. If you don't see it, you won't see it on your screen. Hit the plus sign. You can then go all applications, or just go down here where it says statistical analysis and click, and you can check SPSS 22 and it'll add it to your home screen. So I clicked on SPSS 22 and it's opening the program. All right, it's still opening the program. Well, this is taking a little bit longer than normal, maybe because it's the first time I've opened the program in a while. Here we go. Here you see the background screen of the computers on campus. So those are already logged on. These you're now logged on to the campus network when you see that screen. Let's say not now down here. Okay, we're good to go. So here's the program. We're going to type in our own data. So I'm going to click New Data Set, and then OK. Okay, so there's two tabs with SPSS. Data View, which you see here, and Variable View. So we're going to start off in Data View, and we're going to just make up some data to start with. So the first day of class, we learned the four types of data: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scales. So for example, gender is a nominal measurement. It's male or female, you're either one or the other. So I'm going to give, let's say, ones will be females. So I'm going to put in, say we had 5 females and 5 males, and 5 males in our study, and I'm going to label those 2. And let's say we're measuring height. So, let's say 64 inches, again, 61, 59, 66, 54. And then the males will say 66, 63, 72, 70, and 66 again. So we look here, it makes up a variable name for each column. It's VAR for variable, and then it starts off with 4 zeros and then a 1. The next one is variable, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. And that's kind of hard to remember, so we can go to variable view to label our column headings. So we'll say variable 1 is gender, and I'm typing in under name. Variable 2 is height. It says type numeric for both because when we go back to data view, we only put in numbers. Had you put in words, it would call it a string variable. But you know, a good way to check is, you know, your variables should be numeric unless you put in words. We're going to skip over width. Decimals we can get rid of or turn it to 0 because, you know, we coded 1 for females, 2 for males, and those are whole numbers, and we measured height in whole inches. Label is just like a further explanation as to what your column headers mean. We're going to skip over this. And actually, let's go all the way over to the right here to measure. So there's 3 choices, nominal, ordinal, and scale. And scale groups are interval and ratio scale measurements. So gender is a nominal measurement because, you know, you're either one or the other. Height would be scale. You know, it's someone who's, you know, 70 inches tall is 2 inches taller than someone who's 68 inches tall. Ordinal measures, you know, are categorical, but there's also kind of an order to them. So like if we were looking at maybe annual income, and we had low, moderate, and high, you know, that would be of ordinal scale. So this height is a scale variable. Oops. Okay. So let's go back to our data view, and here we see, okay, gender, 1s for females, 2 for males. Height, we have each person's height. So, you know, it's hard to remember, well, what does 1 stand for? What does 2 stand for? So if we go back to variable view, you can label what 1 means and what 2 means. So here I'm under label and only for gender here. I'm going to click on it. Oh, sorry. Values. Click on it and hit this blue button right here. And this box will come up. So now you can say, okay, when I put a 1 in, I mean female, and hit add. And when I put a 2 in, I mean male, and hit add. And then you hit OK. And now if you go back to data view, it should be labeled female and male. If it's not, you can come up to this button, the A1 button here, and that'll toggle back between, you know, how you coded it with 1s and 2s and how you labeled it with female and male. Okay, so I think that is all for this video. You know, we learned kind of how to open the program. Again, if you're on campus, just log on to the computer and open the program. If you're using your own computer, well, you got to go through Cougar Apps, which is available to you, you know, as a student. So look, there's a few questions on the homework. Answer those based on this tutorial, and then we'll get started using SPSS in class within the next week. All right.